We see the word producer thrown away left and right nowadays. Everybody's a producer, but are they? Let's talk about it. Hello everyone, welcome back to MixbusTv. Hope you're having a great day. If you like the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, check the info box down below for my mixing courses, a bunch of plugin discounts, and much more. Let's get to the video. So many things inspired this video. It doesn't want to be a rant or anything like that. It's not meant to attack anyone. Everyone started from somewhere. But today, everyone is a producer. Only not. And the point of this video is more about the use of the word producer, because if I call myself a producer and someone who makes beat call themselves producer, well, someone is using the wrong word because we ain't doing the same job. If Rick Rubin is called a producer, he's not doing the same job as a beat maker either. It's not a matter of genre. I want to stress this. It's not a matter of genre, and it's not a matter of how big the artists you work with are. What matters is what you do. So what a producer does, so many things. But first and foremost, the producer has a vision, has an end goal in mind, how a product should be like, how a product should sound like, and where in the market that product is going to be placed. All this is very different from the mix engineer vision and perspective. The two go hand in hand, and I can tell you from experience, wearing both hats. A producer can be a mix engineer. It does not need to be a mix engineer. The mix engineer job goes into details, effects, automation, balance. It achieves the producer vision through detailed work. But without the producer work, the mix engineer will probably have just a bunch of disconnected tracks that hopefully, after hours and hours of tedious work, will end up sounding okay. Not great, okay. To give you a visual metaphor of it, a producer looks at the track, at the record, from a higher and further away position than the mix engineer. When the producer works with an artist, it's its job to try to get the best out of the artist. And I know that line is so overused, it doesn't mean anything. So what exactly that means? It depends on the artist's needs. If the artist needs to be developed still, and to some extent all of them do because they evolve throughout their career, the producer does that first. It develops the artist, which is one of the hardest and most important aspects of a producer job. It looks at everything that is going on in the artist's life, everything that brought the artist to the point in which she or he is, and keep all that into consideration when interacting with the artists. Artist development, among other things, it means find out if the artist's potential is fully expressed, if their style, the style they're using, the style they're thinking is the best for them, it actually is, or if something needs to be changed or could be improved, or nothing at all. And if something needs to be changed or can be changed to improve things, how, in what direction are we going? And this takes time. As you know, one of the artists that I produced, Bella, very young, talented girl, it took 6 months before we even got one song, one single to tape. And that song is not the finish line by any stretch of imagination. It's quite the opposite. It's literally the beginning, it's the start, it's debut. And it took months to get there. Months of trying to write, arrange, involving other producers, songwriter, lyricists, you name it. Nothing worked for a long time. And I feel this alone would put out 90% of the people that are out there calling themselves producers. Because today we want quick results right away. But as a producer, when you pick an artist to work with because you saw something in it and you believe in it, or you accepted a job because you think you're gonna bring something to the table, you have the responsibility and the duty to say, no, this is not good enough. No, we don't have the style, we don't have the vision, we don't have the sound, we just don't have it yet. We need to work harder. It doesn't matter how long that takes. Sure, give yourself a deadline, otherwise you're probably gonna work on the same stuff for 10 years and not going anywhere. But what I'm saying is give yourself a deadline and stick to it, work, don't, just give up because that one song or that first try didn't go. This goes also for artists that are already established. In that case, you have to keep into account many more things. One, that if they are already popular, what they did so far worked, and the audience is expecting consistency. So when you go changing things or putting your stamp on it, keep that in mind. Okay, people is used to a certain sound, to a certain image, to a certain product from that artist, which doesn't mean you have to repeat the same stuff over and over. I mean, some people do, but that personally is not a kind of job that appeals to me, so I'm not even taking that into consideration. With an established artist, you work with what you have, you respect that, and then you try to improve it if there's room to improve, if they're open to change, if they're open to your input. Whether that means going into a different direction stylistically, which sometimes mean going out of your comfort zone and the artist's comfort zone, which is never a good moment. It's never an easy moment to go through. And sometimes it doesn't even need to be a big change. Sometimes just changing the order in which they are used to record things or they are used to compose. That change alone could be enough to spark new ideas and give an established artist a new spin. But my point is, as a producer, you have to make the decision. Is that the case or not? Just because it's different is better or not, okay? So not just because you get to change something, it means that you should. Okay, a producer has a responsibility. You are responsible for how the work, the record, the single is gonna be. And that doesn't mean that you just make part of the song a beat, a guitar track, or even just a vocal line. It doesn't matter. A producer is the one who puts everything together, and not just that. You're not a cook that puts ingredients together and then make a meal. You think of the product, you have it in your head before even starting, or you get inspired sometimes by a vocal line or a beat. That's fine too, but once you have that spark, you usually form the idea, the vision pretty quickly, and then you might adjust it as you go. You get inspired by new things, by new arrangement, but you think of every single detail, and not, again, the technical detail that then the mix engineer, the mixing process takes care of, but how many vocal harmonies this part is gonna have. Are we taking the drum out there? What kind of sound the drum is? Far, it's close, it's dirty, it's clean, everything that contributes to the final result. And then there's the emotional part, arguably the most important part the producer has to take into account and take care of. Because look, I'm a tough guy, I don't talk emotion, but music is about emotion. It doesn't matter if it's just one note on a beat or a 150 pieces orchestra with a metal band and all that. It doesn't matter. Is about emotions. When the artists are there performing, either playing or singing, as a producer, you need to be some sort of psychologist and understand what are they experiencing, what are they feeling, okay? You need to ask yourself those things. What is the song triggering in them? What is going on in their life? You need to know, you need to feel that, because you need to understand if it's the right time to push them or time to lay back. Are they ready to try something new, or they want to be in their comfort zone for a while? Can you do anything for them to inspire them, to make them feel something? Doesn't matter if it's pissing them off or make them laugh. What can you do to get an emotion out of them, a reaction out of them, something that they can put in the piece they are recording, whatever they are recording? All this is producer work. And after all this and a lot more, there's the music, the actual technical aspects of recording. How, when, where? Are they comfortable at home, in a private studio, in a big room? Do they want to party around them, or they want to be alone with candles? You need to know all that. And sometimes, even if they tell you, that doesn't mean that that's what they need. Okay, so as a producer, sometimes you need to make decisions that they're not right there in front of your eyes, okay? And if it's not a solo artist, but it's a band, it's a collective, so they work as one unit, all the things that we listed basically multiply for each member. So you get my point. This is a big difference from someone who does not do these things. and still call themselves producers. And I know a lot of people today does everything by themselves at home, somewhat successfully, because some of them sell their product on YouTube or to other artists, even though then we complain that the music is crap out there. But that's all good. But it's not being a producer. Better. If we agree that in the modern world, that is the definition of a producer, then I feel like we should call producers that do all the things that we listed before something else. We can come up with a stupid word and then becomes a popular hashtag on Instagram or something like that. But my point is, look, this is not a I'm better or worse than you thing, not by any stretch. If people want the word producer, they can have it. We don't care. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I haven't been calling myself a producer for a long time, even though I was one. You know, I kept calling myself mix engineer because of that, out of the respect that I had for that word. But still, I don't care, and I'm pretty sure a lot of colleagues don't care. So they want the word, they can have the word. It's just that I feel a differentiation should be there because it's just not the same job. And I already know some people will feel offended by this, attacked, even though I've been pretty clear as to why there shouldn't be any reason to feel attacked or offended. But today everybody gets offended for everything, so fuck it. I know there's a lot of people out there who would want to say the same things in a way less diplomatic way probably, but they don't because people get offended. And you know what? Snowflakes will be snowflakes. There's nothing we can do about it. Anyway, being a producer is not easy as having a computer and making tunes or slappers or whatever stupid word is trendy today. It's a lot harder. Sometimes it's way less rewarding too than the other things. So don't get me wrong. They might be onto something because sometimes the work of a producer, it happens that it's not rewarded, is not valued, is not understood. But this is my thought. If you want anything great, not cool, not dope, motherfucking great, you need time, you will fail many times, and maybe you will never get there. But anyone who does get there and get something great, it's because they put a lot of work in it. Well, not everyone, but most of them. Because this is the music business, and merit, unfortunately, is not always the key factor as to why somebody is at the top. Some people are born into the business because of their parents, because of their wife, husband, cats, dogs. Some people fuck other people over. Anything goes at a certain level. As Hunter Thompson said, the music business is a cruel and shallow money trench. A long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs. But there's also a negative side. This is it for this video. Check boxes, like, comment, take it easy. See you next time.